Hey, I feel you. You're probably feeling tired, frustrated, just praying for that opening, a new beginning, a new chance to no longer be stuck in the rut or struggling with what you're struggling with. Well, what if this week isn't just a regular week? What if this week offers the shift you've been waiting for, the breakthroughs you're hoping for, that fresh start? Well, this is a turning point week, and one in which I do feel like we're going to be able to lift our heads up out of whatever we're struggling with or wherever we feel stuck or uncertain. And we're going to see, I hope, I feel anyway, this is my intuitive take, a fresh way forward where new possibilities are emerging. So we can start to pick up the pieces of all that feels broken and challenging and chaotic in our lives as we are in a very chaotic transformational time collectively. So what I feel for this week ahead on March 17th through March 23rd is we're in eclipse season. We're in the middle of it. We just had the lunar eclipse in Virgo, which perhaps a lot was revealed that needed to be healed. You were shown what's not working. Maybe you felt really ready to, I call it purge to emerge, to let go, release, to be free from all that had been weighing you down. Your thoughts, your patterns, stories, experiences, situations. So I am curious, how was the lunar eclipse for you? I've heard everything from completely unplugged, exhausted, to head spinning, to very emotional, to seeing things from the past maybe they'd forgotten and yet we're being reminded in this moment. So drop a comment, let me know. But here, let me tell you more about what we can expect for this week. I feel like, that lunar eclipse we were called to, and did you feel called to shed, it kickstarted our spring cleaning need, right? Time to really let go of anything not aligned with soul potential. And did you know that we have 3 New Year opportunities? Did you? Well, we have the common New Year, which is the Gregorian calendar New Year, begins on January 1st. But I don't know if you're like me, but I've never felt like that was my New Year. I never felt like, yeah, ready to go. Never. Because for me, in the Northern Hemisphere, I'm in winter time. I'm in cocoon time, right? That's where we are. I'm not roaring and ready to go, but it is a fresh calendar, right, to start scheduling on. And then we have our personal New Year's, what I like to call it, which is our solar return or our birthday. A solar return is the time when the sun returns to the exact degrees it was in when you were born. So that's your personal New Year. And then we have the astrological New Year, which is happening this week on March 20th. It is the equinox, spring equinox in the Northern Hemisphere, and autumn equinox in the Southern Hemisphere. So this is like New Year energy. We're moving out of Pisces season, which I always think when we're coming to the end of a season, it's a good time to reflect, especially because we have Mercury and Venus in retrograde. But in general, what was this time like? And this is where I invite you to soul track, right? Soul tracking is noticing the symbolic language of astrology in relation to your life unfolding. When there's a lunar eclipse, what did you notice? It was in Virgo. What did you notice? When we're moving towards this astrological new year, March 20th, moving into spring in the Northern Hemisphere, what are you noticing, right? And what did you learn during Pisces season? It's also important to reflect on what did you learn. So the season of Pisces was about, really visioning, dreaming new dreams, feeling our way forward with compassion, learning to offer self-compassion to ourselves. And see, this is why I love looking at the symbolic language of astrology, which I think is a gift from Creator to help us navigate life and as humans, right? As souls having a human experience. So it's like the cycles are just like layered in ways that support our unfolding. It's just, you know, book a session with me. I'll tell you more. Anyway, focus, Victoria. So moving out of Pisces season, yeah, for me, it was very, very foggy, disoriented, floaty, like kind of, I need to focus, right? We're going to be focusing more this week. Okay. So because we're moving out of the compassionate, intuitive, watery Pisces into fiery, action oriented, initiate new activity, take action on things you've been wanting to do, Aries season. So this is the time of the year, the astrological new year, where we emerge. Think about seeds you planted, right, that are starting to just poke through. So it's a time of emerging. It's an invitation to rise up to the next possibilities for your life. Okay, does that sound good? And as I mentioned, we're in the middle of eclipse season, so everything may feel a little bit more intense, a little bit more purposeful, because eclipse season is connected to the nodes of destiny. So it's a reorientation, getting us back on track with our soul purpose, our essence, who we truly are, not our conditioned self. And that's really what we're shedding, right? So and do keep in mind that this is all from my heart and soul to you. It is my intuitive take on what we may, emphasis on the word may, experience, because you're the expert of you. You and your life circumstances are unique. Your childhood upbringing is unique. All the things that kind of have been sculpting you and your purpose are unique to you. So listen when it feels resonant. Say, yeah, that does fit, and then drop a comment. Okay. I'm looking forward to Aries season because I noticed in Pisces season, I couldn't talk because I have Neptune, Sun, Neptune, which means sort of, it's very much Pisces. And so I feel my thoughts and I don't articulate every single one. I often skip many words. This is common for intuitive people and empaths. Anybody else relate to that? Anyway, with Aries season, I'll be more precise with my words. Okay. So also to make note that we are also experiencing both Venus and Mercury retrograde. So we may, emphasis on may, it's like we're starting to like wake up and like, oh, I just see like coming out of the winter slumber for those of us in the northern hemisphere and just like, oh, the sun is back and I feel, motivated again and inspired and ready to grow and ready to emerge potential. But there's a little bit of a break on that, right? We may definitely feel the call forward to our desires, but with Venus retrograde and Mercury retrograde, this is like slows us down so that we can reflect, we can reassess all the RE words, but to be more mindful about how we're going to move forward, not in the typical Aries way of just run forward and see what happens, but we're being held back for a little while in a way that's, think of it, I'm getting the image of like a supportive hug from the universe saying, I know you want all those things. I've got you, and I know you want to run forward, but I want to make sure that when you do move forward, you are prepared for what's ahead. That's what I feel. So just a little bit more patience, I guess. We'll say that. Okay. So, yep, this is the weekly transformational opportunities. And I call them the weekly transformational opportunities, even though I'm talking about astrology, because astrology is not my primary modality. My primary modality is a transformational guide. I'm a Jungian-based spiritual director. I do soul work. Astrology just folds into that because it's a symbolic language. I love helping people track their life from a soul perspective, soul tracking. So I'm Victoria, and I am your transformational guide. So welcome to the Soul Nurture channel. If this is your first time, please do consider subscribing, viewing other videos. I'm going to drop another video in the description box. If I have time today, I'm going to do a meditation for the week. But I'll drop something in there that after you watch this one, click on that one to see more of what I offer. And yeah, Let me know if it resonates with you, and I hope it does. Okay, so I'm going to go through each day of the week and share sort of the feeling of the day. Again, my intuitive take, and the transformational opportunities, i.e., maybe challenges, struggles, but they are all transformational opportunities to help us evolve, emerge more potential, wake up out of our conditioning and shed what no longer serves so we can be our strong and powerful, beautiful, authentic selves with our unique and beautiful contribution. How's that sound? Okay, so, oh, by the way, you may want to pause the video right now. I do invite you, as I continue to do these, let this be your weekly check-in with yourself. My commitment is to have these up on every Sunday at 6 p.m. Pacific time. I will put it out as a premiere, so that what that means is I'll be there with you to chat with me, and but think of it as a time for you to just check in with yourself. So get your journal, get a pen, get cozy, get something to drink, and then as I go through each day, pause, note where the moon is, note any aspects I talk about and the potential of that, and then backtrack. As the week progresses, go back to Monday and say, oh yeah, Victoria said the moon's in Scorpio, and she said something about the sun and the node are conjunct, and there's something about destiny, and there's something about visioning. So what did you notice, right? And this is how you begin to connect with your unique unfolding with the cosmos. Okay? All right. So the theme of this week, I feel, is moving out of the liminal space, and like peeking out of, like, I feel like the hallway. Liminal space is where we're not where we used to be, but we're not quite where we want to be. Think of the cocoon, the caterpillar, and dissolving, which is a perfect word for coming out of Pisces season, dissolving, and now we're re-emerging something. And so this liminal space is that. It's like you're not quite ready. You're still cooking. You're still developing. You're still activating the potential you need for what's next. So think of this week as that, a threshold for new beginnings, from the dissolving to a rebirthing. This is definitely rebirthing times, and rebirthing energy into Aries season that is more aligned with our authentic self, our nature, and our ability to soar and to rise, right? So, just as if for those of you who are saying, what in the heck is a liminal space? So liminal refers to a transitional place, an in-between phase, a time of uncertainty and potential for transformation. So it's where, like what I just said, where one is neither fully in the old state nor fully in the new. Right? Anybody feel that? Like, okay, you just been like pacing up and down this hallway, like there's no doors opening, and just like, what? I want to move forward. Well, you may see the doors opening, peeking through a new door. Maybe many new doors are opening. And so you're going to finally see that way forward. Yay, right? Yay. I feel you. So, okay. So here's the personal new year is happening on March 20th, the equinox. It marks a moment of balance. It's a sacred time of, pausing, and as we're moving out of that liminal phase into Aries season. And with that Mercury and Venus retrograde, there's still more reflection time, more reviewing, and before we just push on forward, right? So this is all intentional, I think, from Creator. I think everything that happens, again, is happening for us and helping us emerge and evolve. We just need to remember that, especially in the middle of a struggle. Struggle is when we're resisting what is and we're not trusting what can be, right? Okay, so let's see. So, so let me just get into the week, because this is just an overview I put here, but let me go jump into the week. So for Monday, March 17th, this is the moon is in Scorpio, and we have Sun conjunct the North Node, as I was mentioning. So, and it's St. Patrick's Day, so wear green so you don't get pinched, or don't so you do get pinched. I don't know. Maybe we all need a little wake up pinch, you know. So I feel like, so this is a day of karma and destiny and preparing for, or, getting aligned, getting soul aligned. It's a deep transformational opportunity with the moon in Scorpio. Notice what you feel like when the moon's in Scorpio. I'm a sun sign Scorpio, so when the moon's in Scorpio, I feel more connected, more empowered. Notice what you notice. Usually with the moon in Scorpio, we have a deepening in our emotional capacity. We feel things more deeply. We see things more deeply. Anytime Scorpio is active in the transits or in our chart, it is it's an opportunity to emerge what is hidden, shadow work, and to really become the detective of your own transformation. Like, what is this connected to? It's Scorpio is the deep diver. Get to the root of the issue so you can be free of what's limiting and more empowered. Okay. So yeah, get in touch with yourself. The transformational opportunity work, or soul work or inner work, is journaling about, which, when you catch yourself triggered or when you catch yourself kind of stuck, go deeper. What are you telling yourself about yourself? Where's another time you felt this way? And what do you need to believe about yourself in order to emerge and to be empowered and to trust the great mystery unfolding? I think also Moon in Scorpio is about dancing or moving with the great mystery. Okay. So what I wish for you on this day is that you trust your deeper inner wisdom, and that you have the courage, you feel empowered to reclaim those hidden aspects of you in shadow that are needed and necessary for your destiny. Okay? All right. So Tuesday, March 18th. Moon is still in Scorpio. It's about, the sun's approaching Neptune. I think it's exact conjunction tomorrow or the next day, the 19th. But we have Moon trine Mars and Saturn. So this is about navigating uncertainty with resilience and finding your inner strengths, your gifts, remembering whatever you're navigating through. And if it feels daunting, to say, I've moved through other times like this, or another time that I felt doubt, I leaned into my courage. I leaned into my resilience, my adaptability, whatever it is for you, your gifts, your strengths. So with the sun approaching Neptune, I think more compassion is necessary, especially with Moon in Scorpio, because it could show you things you don't want to see, possibly, about yourself. Remember, this is where we look at projection. When you're triggered by someone else, where is this in me? But you want to wrap your compassionate heart around those parts of you, welcome them home, and say you belong and you're needed. And every part of you has a function and is trying to get a need met for you. Okay. So let's see. That's Tuesday. And this is something, do just some grounding meditation, maybe just do a quick assessment of your shadow, and that is who triggers you and what is it about them that triggers you, and where would that be helpful for you to be that way? That's a quick shadow work transformational tool. Okay, so what I wish for you on this day is that you embrace all of who you are. Wrap your heart and soul and compassion around all of you. Remember, with the lunar eclipse in Virgo, it was about letting go of perfectionism. It was about letting go of being hard on yourself. I know I have Sun, Saturn, and Mercury, Saturn, and Saturn in my first house. This is a daily process for me. People always say to me, "You're so hard on yourself, Victoria." Yeah, that's Saturn really pushing me to do better, right? But sometimes we need to just say, I am doing the best I can. And I really, that feels important to say that to you out there. Who needs this message? You're doing the best you can. Trust that everything's okay. Do your best and surrender the rest, is what I like to say. Okay. That's for you. Okay. So, let's see, where was I? Got a little, right. Soul work. And then this is a good time to surrender all that stuff, right? Write down all your fear, all your limiting thoughts. And I love the idea of burning, because think of, Scorpio is like the phoenix rising through the ashes. It's time to rise. It's time to let go and rise more powerfully. Okay, Wednesday, March 19th, the moon moves into Sagittarius. I love the moon in Sagittarius. This is where, we become the philosophers of our lives. We become curious. We want to talk more. We want to tell the truth. We want to speak the truth. We want to journey, want to adventure, want to break free, right? So this is also the day the sun is exactly in conjunct Neptune. So sun conjunct Neptune it could be lots of things. So tell me what it's like for you. It could be kind of foggy and kind of like you don't know what's real, what's not. And by the way, coming out of Pisces season ruled by Neptune, this is where information was like distorted. What's true, what's real, what's not. It felt very like, am I dreaming this? Is this a nightmare? What's happening, right? So Wednesday can feel like that again, but when Sun conjuncts Neptune, it is an invitation to a higher vision of your possibilities. It is an higher invitation to more compassion for yourself and others. It is a call to not navigate this world from your human perspective, but from your soul perspective. Do you want to do some creative work? Do free association journaling? But creativity, writing a poem, writing lyrics, or painting a picture, or doing a soul collage. You can see, as Jung said, bringing the unconscious conscious, right? Or making the invisible visible. So you can see more of your beautiful soul and what you need in that moment. So it's a day of deep intuition and expanded vision. And also, I think, a lifted perspective. Neptune can help us dissolve what's been holding back our authentic self. And we're listening to our dreams, our nightly dreams, or journaling about what am I called to do? What is my purpose? What do I need to see in order to move towards that higher calling? Okay. So we're visioning today and imagining. This is a good thing to do. Close your eyes and just invite in an image of your future self or your higher self, however you want to do it. Your future self 6 months from now, your higher self that is a guide to you. And I think of higher self as your fully actualized self, okay? And then imagine having a dialogue with your higher self. What do I need to know from where I am to where I'm going, okay? Show me the way. All right, so my wish for you is that you're able to move past the doubt and the fear and the illusion of who you thought you were based on conditioning and how other people perceived you, and a reclaiming of who you were created to be, your beautiful soul essence. No one like you. You're needed, okay? All right, Thursday, March 20th. This is Moon is still in Sagittarius. This is the cosmic reset. It's the astrological new year. It's the equinox. It's, the day that Sun enters Aries. So that is what the astrological new year is. It's when Aries is at 0 degrees Aries. And that point is the reference for the astrological zodiac, right? So it's an opportunity for that. Again, all I said at the beginning of the video, if you watched, emerging the seeds you planted with intention from last year to this moment, the seeds that were planted in your soul, that when you do your inner work and clear all your doubts, limitations, negative thoughts, and old experiences, can emerge anew, right? So, and again, equinox, equal day, equal night, it brings balance. And that Aries energy is all about igniting, the passion within you, the fire of your soul fire that I'm seeing an image of carrying a torch forward through the dark into the light. I don't know what that means. Does it mean something to you? I just trust the images that come. So what is calling to you? What might you set in motion? What might you feel like now is the time to make that shift, to make that move, to start that new career, that new project, but do it again mindfully with Mercury retrograde and Venus retrograde. Okay. On a side note, Venus retrograde, I'm doing these special shorts on this channel. So go to shorts. I'm trying to figure the shorts out. But anyway, the intention is to give you little tidbits, little tools, a little support for reviewing your relationships and emerging higher potential for healthy relationships. Okay. All right, and ask questions too, please. I was thinking this morning what I needed to do is say, ask your questions, and I will look at all the questions and answer them all, and then I'll pick some. Maybe I'll still do it because we're going till April 12th. So watch the shorts, comment, but also ask questions about all things love, self worth, things like that. And I will, for every question, I will put that name in a hat and pull somebody's name for a free session. Okay, that's what we're gonna do. Okay, so for the equinox, there are many things you can do. You can Google ceremonies. And I do believe in rituals, but I also believe in don't do what everybody else is doing. What do you feel called to do, right? What's a ritual you can create for this new year? But since it is a new year, you want to embrace the potential within you, and then just sort of, how do I want to utilize this in the new year? What do I want to achieve? What do I desire? Kind of journal about that, okay? And it's also a good time to get into that spring cleaning, clearing your space in your home, and also ask, this is a good way to declutter and to shift all the stuff you have. Does this object, clothing, thing that I'm holding on to, is it aligned with the me I'm emerging, or is it just a reference of somebody I used to be? That I'm hearing that song I love. I'm just somebody that you used to know. That all that old clothing represents the old you in the old neighborhood. You're emerging a new you, going towards a new way of being in a new neighborhood. Okay. So what I wish for you is that you do honor this invitation to a new beginning, and that you embrace your power, your gifts, your purpose, and you really, you take that one step forward, but then you also surrender to be shown the next step, and also to learn and grow from what you've just moved through, reviewing, reflecting, and then reclaiming. Okay. Friday, March. I'm looking to see how I'm doing at time. Got to get better at getting these under 30, but hey, you can pause and come back. All right. So Friday, March 21st. This is about embracing your healing and embodying your healing. The moon in Sagittarius, still Venus sextile Jupiter, and moon trine Chiron, the wounded healer. This is an archetype I 1,000% relate to, the wounded healer. And I know I have a lot of viewers who are wounded healers or identify with it, where you've been wounded by life or other lives, and you've worked with your wounds in order to emerge what I call your soul medicine, your sacred medicine. And yet we're still dealing with our wounds, but we're aware of our wounds, because our wounds are portals for our gifts, right? So that's active on this day, on March 21st. So old wounds may arise again, not to take us down or break us or make us feel disempowered or helpless, but to show us, or to call us for more tending and mending of the wounds. What did you need when that wound first occurred? How do you give that to yourself, what you need? And then be curious about what gifts have been growing in this space called a wound, and how can they be applied in contribution to others, but first to yourself. This is key for healing. Okay, so a good soul work kind of thing to do is transformational work, is to do mirror work, or I call it soul gazing, where you just look at yourself in the mirror. You look at your eyes and you just say, you just sit and connect to your soul. Maybe even say something like, I see you, and I want to empower more of you. I want to call forth more of my gifts. I want to heal more of the wounds in a way that all I can see is the flow of gifting and healing and strength that is available for you, right? So look into your eyes with compassion and love and call yourself forward, okay? I remember I used to do that when I was a little girl. I was like a latchkey kid. No one was ever around, and maybe I did it because I was lonely, but I think it was my early soul work. I would stare in a mirror, and I would remember seeing different faces in that mirror, and I was just entranced by it, and I always felt so safe and connected. So there is a spiritual, there's the human form of mirror work to help us feel grounded in who we are, but then there's also the soul work of seeing our essence, right? Okay, so let's go on to Saturday. Wish I had like music in between all these. That's next step. Oh, my wish for you, I forgot to say, my wish for you is that you see yourself through the eyes of love and compassion, and you connect to your essence, and that every wound is a story of your gifts and your strengths. Okay? All right. Now, Saturday, March 22nd. This, we have a shift into moon in Capricorn. Again, notice that moon in Capricorn. For me, when the moon goes into Capricorn, it goes into my 12th house, and I go into retreat. I go into like mini hibernation, right? So also when I'm saying where the moon is, look at your natal chart. Where is moon in Capricorn? What house is that in your chart? What house is emotionally activated for you? And utilizing the qualities of Capricorn. So we have moon in Capricorn, and then we also have Sun conjunct Venus and Mars square Chiron. So we're still working with our wounds. We're still like being curious. We're still taking action on behalf of what we grew through, where we were wounded, into where we're now empowered. So, this is an opportunity, transformational opportunity for living in integrity with your truth. Again, you could be triggered because of that Mars square Chiron, old wounds being triggered. But the Sun connecting to Venus, which is all about love and loving who we are, loving our identity, helps us emerge more of our authentic self. So remember, Moon and Capricorn too can push you to do more. It's Saturn, ruled by Saturn. You may the I'm not enough might come up in Moon and Capricorn. This is where you check yourself and say, I am enough, and here's how I'm enough, and here I do enough, and here's what I've already done. So peace out, Moon and Capricorn. I love you. Thanks for helping me, but I'm good, right? Because it may feel like you're being pushed, but it could be in a good way. But just make sure it's not in a shaming way. I think that's key. Okay, so my wish for you on this day is that you honor who you are, you honor where you are, how far you've come, and you honor, there's still more work to do, more building of structure, but you have more capacity to do that. Okay. All right, Sunday, March 23rd. This is also moon in Capricorn. So again, the moon is in a sign for about 2.5 days. Okay, so we've got Sun sextile Pluto today, and Moon trine Uranus. So the transformational feeling of this day, the opportunities, is a day of continue to empower yourself by surrendering. I know some people think that's not powerful to say, I'm going to surrender this. It's not giving up. It's saying, I'm going to let my soul show me another way, right? The Sun and Pluto remind us that real power doesn't come from control. It comes from trusting and unfolding, and the practice of surrendering, of letting go and trusting Creator, the great mystery, Jesus, however you connect, to be shown a new way. And this day feels a little bit more emotionally intense. Moon in Capricorn again, with starting to look at all the things that you could be doing better. And Sun Pluto can be like, seeing the things that you avoided and you're seeing again. So just be gentle with yourself. Just take actions that are doable. And also remember that you're still review with compassion. So my wish for you is that, you just trust that right where you are, all is well. And that if anything comes up that feels like, why didn't I do that? Or the doubts, the regrets, say, hey, I get a new chance right now. And it's not only an astrological new year. Think of every day as a new day. Every moment is a new moment. Every breath is a new opportunity to do something different, more aligned with where you want to go and who you want to be, rather than where you've been. And you've done that, you want to move on from that, right? Okay. All right. So, this is a powerful week of transition. And I just, I do these videos so that you know that you're not alone. This is when I started the channel in 2020. I can't believe it, but I started with that simple intention. There are people out there who may need to be reminded they're not alone. And maybe I have something to contribute through a transformational lens that will help you. And I hope that something in this video was helpful and supportive to you. And if you feel like called to work with me, or you feel resonance with what I'm saying, and you want to go deeper and you want to reclaim your soul potential, maybe you look at your soul chart and see what more of your potential is. And I'd say go to my website in the description box, book yourself a session. You're worth it. And this way I can tailor sessions personal to your unfolding and your journey. Also, the women's circle is starting this week on the new year. Woo-hoo! On the 20th. Click to put your name on the wait list. I don't know why we called it that. It should have just been a sign-up sheet. Wait list means you're in. The minute you sign there, I will send you the Zoom link the day before. And this is the first offering, and I'll tell you more about it when I see you then. Okay. And also go to my website, also in the description box, so you can see more about my work, learn more about the unique ways I support people on their path of unfolding, reclaiming soul potential, and nurturing all of that soul potential into higher possibilities. So thank you so much for being with me. I hope, again, you are taking away something helpful. Comment as much as you want. You're completely unlimited here. And also let me know if there's any other videos you'd like to see me do. And remember to go to the shorts and ask questions about relationships. I'm with you. I'm giving you all my love coaching tips until April 12th. All right. Peace be with you for this day and every day of your unfolding. And just wrap your own arms around you and your own compassion. You're worth all that you desire. I'll see you soon. Bye.